Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I'm Mika. Happy Halloween. Happy Samhain. This is me. This is my rendition of, I was going to say Medusa, Morticia. This is my costume. Ew, ew, ew. It's so cute. So, you know, this is my rendition. But I like her. I like what I got on. And, you know, my version, I'm not doing the middle part. We growing with heroin right now. But, I do a side part. But this is my rendition. First of all, I need to just be wearing this. This is me dramatic. I realize this is probably like an everyday look for somebody else. That this is dramatic makeup for me. We're all different. But happy Halloween, happy Samhain. Welcome. So if you didn't know, I'm Mika. This is Leap Taken. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back and for hanging out with me today. But yeah, this is Leap Taken. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today we're going to be talking all things Samhain, all things Halloween, all things spooky, all things witchy. So, you know, come hang out with me for a little bit. Um, I'd love to be drinking a little something, something, but I'm just drinking water for now, because that's what I can have. Um, but welcome to the channel. Oh, Scorpio Queen. Oh, I love that name. Hey, I love that name. Hello, Scorpio Queen. I am so mad that I'm gonna do my nails. Oddly enough, when we're done, I'm annoyed with myself because I got everything here to do it. I've had a time. You're welcome. I've had a time. I've been having a time. Um, anyway, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the good stuff. So anyway, yes, it's a good day. I've gotten great news. Good things have been happening. Good spells, like spells that I've done, I'm seeing the results of it. It is motivating the heck out of me right now. And what better time to be motivated than now to do some spell work and to get, really witchy and want to do some witchy stuff because hello, this is the best day to do it. Oh, let me turn the light around. This is the best day to do it. It's Halloween. It's Samhain. This is the witchiest time. This entire weekend is a witchy time. So um, I kind of just I want to talk about a couple different just like topics all at once. So what does Samhain mean to somebody like me, right? And y'all let me know in the comments, like, what does this holiday represent to you? What in short, like I'm not asking you to, talk about your entire tradition and your entire philosophy on life and the holidays. But for me, in short, I look at this time as the witchy new year, the witch's new year. And to me, this is an excellent time to manifest as well. That's one. Two, working with spirits, the veil being thin, working with my ancestors, working with people I didn't even know, spirits of people who way before my lifetime, like maybe thousands of years, 1,000 years ago, or from another dimension. Like I'm open to whatever. So, you know, working with those energies as well. So like I'm open to that. Um, and experiencing that. It's a time for, I don't know, it's a sacred time. Also, it's a fun time. I also participate in Halloween. So I like the spooky aspect. I like putting up the decorations. I like the fun stuff, the candy and the little kids dressing up. And I like experiencing and being part of all that. Um, I like being a little extra, a little weird. I like weird. So I love all those things. So that's what this time represents. Like it's the sacredness of the reverence and the respect um, that I have for communicating with spirit. There's the Witch's New Year, and there's just the capitalistic, Americanized Halloween that I also contribute to because I've personally contributed to Spirit Halloween, Target, Home Goods, um, beforehand Target, Home Goods, um, Marshalls, all the stores. I've given them my money over the years to, have all this stuff. And I'm fine, I'm not gonna, long story short, I have not posted my final house tour of Halloween. It actually goes up today, but it's Halloween. There is somebody I used to follow, or I still follow. I remember last year, they didn't put up their Halloween content. Like, they were still putting up Halloween content days after Halloween. I watched it because I like weird, so that fits me. um, but they're kind of goth anyway. Spoiler, every year since I've spent so much money with decorations and so much energy trying to like make a situation like in the rest of the house, and I have decorations outside too, I don't want to take them down. And I know Christmas is coming, and every year I say, you know what, I'm not gonna rush for Christmas. I'm gonna just soak Halloween up. This year, I mean it. I am keeping my Halloween decorations up longer than I normally. Normally, I take them down like immediately. I don't want to take, maybe outside because we have rules here with the management and all that stuff. But inside, I'm keeping my decorations up. But let's talk spooky. Let's talk witchy as well. So I want to talk about the witch's New Year aspect of it. I have had great success in the past of writing things down, creating a vision board book, and putting down the things that I really wanted before I knew I could get them, before I knew if they were going to happen, before, like, I didn't know the plan. Like, I just know I want this to happen. So I'm going to give you some fun stuff that I did this time last year. There were two concerts that I wanted to go to. I didn't know if these concerts were going to be in my country. I didn't know if I was in the position to go because I didn't know if they would come to where I live, which is in Arizona. So it would be Phoenix. I didn't know if any of this was going to be possible. Um, and I saw the first one did come to Phoenix. There's two different groups. They came to Phoenix. That was simpler. But the big one, I didn't know that. I didn't know. They were in LA. So for the first time this year in June, I drove to LA. I was sick. I was so sick. I think I didn't have COVID, but I had the flu or something. Um, and my daughter and I, we drove to LA. That was my first time going to LA. I've been to California before, but I've been to San Francisco, to Northern California. I went to wine country. I did a whole thing. Back in the years ago, girl, I got flued out with the guy I was with at the time. And, he took me there back in my day. So this time, it was me driving. And, Arizona to LA is not that far. It was about 5 hours or so. Wasn't that bad. It was me and my daughter. It was a road trip. We just had fun, listening to music, talking. So, I went, and I everything just sort of happened. I mean, it got a little precarious trying to get the tickets. I was on live trying to get them, and my daughter was like at work helping. It was weird, crazy, but we did it. And I went, and even though I was sick and I was fighting for my life trying to breathe, I enjoyed myself. It was one of the best concert experiences I had ever been to, and I had seen Beyonce. I went to Renaissance, which also was something from the previous year, but that's not what we're talking about. The point is, these things happened. I don't talk a lot about, and maybe I should, but I don't know, I'm kind of old school. It sounds like you're bragging. Also, when you talk about the, sometimes when you talk too much about things you have, or, and my platform is not huge, but people are weird and they say things, and I think people throw negative energy at you sometimes out of envy or, just being haters. Um, you said that's great. I never considered manifesting for Samhain. Oh gosh, yes. Um, which is New Year. So I take the same approach that people take at, January 1st. And I created a book and everything for the Witch's New Year. Um, so I took not a composition book, but like a binder. And I have several years. Now, I'll be honest with you, every single thing, because I'm extra. I'll put like things, places I want to travel, entertainment things, the state of mind I want to be in. I kind of split it up. You ever see like that life pie chart thing? So like career, romance, like your love life, um, your spirituality. Like I approached it like that, like all those different aspects of my life. And I create different pages in the notebook, and I'll put imagery, I'll write words. One of the other things that I talked about was publishing books, and I wanted to have books published. And I do. So here's the three, and here's the most recent, the Witchy Activity book. And I'm talking specifically about this book because we're at a major holiday, and I was going to kind of give some information from the book about today if you weren't sure what else to do. But for instance, for Samhain, um, this is the page I'm looking at here, and I'm talking about the Wheel of the Year, Sabbath. So it happens between October 31st and November 1st. I mean, that's official because people consider November 1st as the Day of the Dead. You see the Dio de la Mortis. Am I saying that right? Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all, my heart. Anyway, the Day of the Dead. So November 1st. So then I say the themes: ancestry, shadow work, divination. I do tons of divination during this time. Actually, I'll be full in my trying times I've recently had. I did pull some cards, and I got such a wacky message because I just feel like my energy has been just like tired and all over the place. So I just left the card reading out, and I just looked at it again like days later, a week later, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I needed to leave that. I just left it right here on this floor behind me. I just was sitting on the floor, and I just laid this card and I left it out there because I was like, yeah, I wasn't ready to receive that. But now I'm in a better place. I really got better as of yesterday, to be honest with you. But anyway, I'll be doing my rituals between tonight and tomorrow, and tons of divination work is going to get done for me, and shadow work, because I think there's a great opportunity for you to do shadow work and to explore. And shadow work doesn't have to be negative. It can be, depending on what's going on with your shadow. But I think people hear that and it just sounds negative to them. Like, I don't want to drudge up negativity. You don't have to drudge up negativity. You could be doing shadow work for the purposes of being more positive. That's another conversation. Then I tell you the ideas: ancestor altar, again, divination, spirit offerings. Spirit offerings. So when somebody says spirit offerings, like, what are they talking about? What do we mean? What's a spirit offering? When we say spirits, we most likely are talking ancestors in this case, and at minimum, especially if you are someone of African descent, water. My energy has been low. Also, I need Samhain to last. So I'm celebrating Samhain for a full week because I felt like I lost some time, grieving this month. So I want to do. Listen, I'm in tune with the ancestors and the death aspect of it. I'd like to get back to the witch's New Year aspect of it. So I'm making mine last a week. I don't care what the rest of the world is doing. Samhain is going. You're going to be still hearing me talk about this next week because I feel like it's still relevant and it's happening. And personally, I think we all need it. I think we need to focus on that side of it. But anyway, water. Water is a great offering. If you have not sure, get just and what I would suggest for it to make more of an impact for you, so you can feel like you're, being very respectful and revering and venerating to the level you want to, is look for a nice glass. If you don't own a nice glass, go to, thrift. Just find a glass. I'm not asking you to buy a set of anything. Just buy something that you think looks kind of fancy. I use something I got from medieval times. We have one of those here. That's the place they do the jousting match, and you got to eat with your hands, raw chicken, not raw chicken. You eat a roasted chicken, and you watch them joust and all that sort of stuff. It's a good time. It's expensive, but it's a good time. Anyway, yeah. I had gotten a souvenir cup. I had got one of their specialty drinks, and we got to keep the cups, and it's black, and I love it. I use that. I just turn it around so you don't see the logo medieval times. So when I'm looking at it, I just see this really fancy looking, witchy looking black cup glass that I use. So I use that for my ancestors, and I like to pour water into that and make sure to change it. But yeah, I like to do that. But if at minimum, water. And if you're not comfortable leaving water sitting up, you can leave it long enough for the purposes of you connecting and offering. And then when you're done with your communion, you can go outside and you can pour it onto the ground, or you can also, if you have house plants or something like that, you can pour it into your plant. I like to do that, pour it into my plants and things like that. That's what I do with any water that hasn't been dry. Like if we have bottled waters, or if I see I had water left over and it's from like a day or two ago, and I was like, I don't want to drink 2 day old water. I'll just pour this in my plant. And so if it's okay to come from me, it's that my plants deserve the ancestor water as well. And I also feel like, let me turn off my notifications. That scared me. I also feel like that's like, I don't know, that's something very positive. Like there's a connection there between the living and the dead as the plant grows. So I don't know. I feel like there's a full circle moment happening with that. Just my thoughts. So then I want to turn to the next page where I talk about Sabbath rituals and recipes. So again, for Samhain, ritual: light a candle and call out the name of your ancestors. Offer wine, bread, or sweets. So now I'm up in the ante. Then I give a recipe: spiced apple cider with cinnamon and clove. So I'm giving you ideas of what you can do. And I tell you, each Sabbath includes a simple ritual you can do solo or with others, a seasonal recipe to connect through food. So the recipe itself, like the spiced apple cider, at minimum, you're like, I'm not going to be doing all that. I don't want to eat that. Put on a simmer pot at the minimum. Get right now, apples are easy to get. I know I got some right now. Go ahead, cut up some apples and put some cinnamon in there. And if you happen to have clove, at minimum the pumpkin spice, put that in there, and that's your simmer pot. That's also a beautiful thing to do today or tonight. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to share these things with you guys. If you were wondering, like, what can I do? That's the purpose of the Witchy Activity book, by the way. I also have these because I'm a paper crafter, and I'm always, just know this is who my brain is wired this way. But the point is, you can color these pieces in and cut them out, and you can actually place these things on your altar, or you can cut these out and place them on a different page and paste them, color them in, and so forth as well. And it's just a way for you to celebrate. And this side is left blank, so you're not like messing anything up in the book when you do that. I have a Will of the Year quest. So it's a Sabbath scavenger hunt and spell builder. So, because we're going to up it up a little bit more. That's the point of this book, It's to have you do stuff, and you can really learn. So you learn the energy of each Sabbath by identifying seasonal elements and crafting a mini spell. For each Sabbath listed below, find or draw one real world object, symbol, or ingredient that aligns with the energy of the season. Use these to build a Sabbath inspired spell or altar charm. I'm letting you in on my mind. So we have Samhain. I tell you, find or draw this pumpkin, candle, or skull. what it represents, ancestor shadow endings. Add to your mini spell or charm. So I leave you a blank so you can like check it off and do it. So this is how you do it. Then I have used the ingredients you selected to write a seasonal spell or ritual. And I give you an example. For this one though, it's the name. This is for Letha. This is the example of the book. Blessings of the Light. The ingredients are sunflower petals, orange candle, cinnamon stick. Honestly, take out the sunflower petals. I mean, it's technically use sunflower still, but anyway. Incantation. With sunlight bright and fire spark, I claim my power, ignite my heart. Then I give you the space to actually write it out over here. So you would write the Sabbath, the ingredients, the incantation or spell. So sticking with Samhain, you can get a black candle, white if you have nothing else. As far as the ingredients, pumpkin seeds count. Yes, store bought, not the kind that you actually got out. You can get like just get some pumpkin seeds. It's okay if they're flavored. Don't worry about it. And if you have any imagery of a skull, even if a candle with like a skull on it, like I have something back here, that counts. That's cool. That's 2 in 1. Okay. And, create some sort of incantation. It can be something simple. But if you are a bit of a wordsmith or you're somebody, you can rhyme, please feel free, go crazy and speak in words that relate to you. Don't worry about trying to sound like a witchy pro or Wiccan pro. If you speak in very simple dialect or you speak in, whatever your dialect is, if you're from the South, if, you're up north or, you're in the West Coast and you have certain slang and the way you're just talk your talk in your rhymes and your incantations. Use what's relevant to you. If you talk, a certain way, talk your way and write your words down. It has more meaning when you do that, when you're, instead of you trying to do it the way they have in the books, do it your way. And a lot of that is in this book. I'm encouraging you to do it your own way to, write out what you want. Then I do have a section here, spells and rituals, how to write a spell worksheet, learn to build your own spell by filling out this guided worksheet. So I give you that, because we're coming fresh off of creating spells. So I'm giving you a larger thing and plenty of space to write it out on blank pages. So there is that. And then I even give you several pages to create a bunch of different spells with the spell record pages, which I personally adore these pages. And I give you this is the template here. So I tell you how to set it up, and then here's the blank one so for you to finish it out. Yeah. So that's the section on Sabbath. And I just kind of wanted to point that out because, I think, honestly, I realized I talk about this book, but I don't probably talk about it enough for somebody who is authoring it. It's doing phenomenal on Amazon, though. I'm very grateful to that. With very little promotion on my part, I didn't pay for ads or anything like that. I'm actually very grateful. And that goes back to my testimony to the Witch's New Year. This is what I was talking about. I wrote this in my book, in my vision board book, that I wanted to publish books. And I wanted to get them done in a certain level of success. Golden natural. Hey, how you doing? I wanted to have a certain level of success with it. And listen, I'm shooting for the stars here, and I'm not lowballing myself. Thank you. I'm trying to give Morticia. This is my intention. I can't do a wig. One is too hot. I don't. Sorry about that. I don't know how to tuck my hair. I didn't learn that skill because I don't. I used to wear wigs back in the day, but I don't wear them now, like in these years. So I don't have the lessons. I mean, I could learn, but it's too hot. But I was gonna wear like a black wig with a middle part. Girl, it's too hot. I'm over here. I'm hot now. Just like pushing my hair to the front like this is making me warm. But anyway, I digress. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, But yeah, I just wanted to share with y'all because I talk about a lot of different topics, but I'm like, let me talk my stuff. Let me get my testimony on this here, which is New Year, on some of the things. And everything doesn't have to be a big thing. I mean, unless you want it to be. Um, so I'll share with y'all. I'm open to it for the first time. I manifested this home. So back in 2019, we moved here, and it's brand new construction, which I wanted because I had been used to living in brand new construction, and I prefer that. I like being the first person to live in the house and sort of set the tone. Um, I know. Listen, I grew up in a place that was everything was old. I grew up in Jersey. New Jersey was where the colonizers came. That's why it's called New Jersey, because it's just their version of from their mother country. So anyway, like New England, so it's the new world. So everything's old there. So and that's nice. I have a special place in my heart for the older homes. I love them actually, but once you get a taste of brand new, that's nice. I like the clean lines of a new house, and everything's just clean and crisp and new, and I like that. I know I like it, but anyway. So I manifested this place. I used scripting for this, and I wrote to the T. And I moved here, and when we first walked in here, um, for the showing, I was like shocked because I was like, oh my god! And it was like, well, this one's available, and the other ones, they were still building the back of the properties, and they were like this there's this unit, for what I wanted, this would fit in your time frame. So I got it, and it's a beautiful cottage, and I just came to the term, or came to the realization, I am a cottage witch. And then I move into a home that is literally a cottage, so it's amazing how that worked out. So I want to try to pull this off. Not try, I don't like that language. I'm going to pull this off again. I think I'm open to moving, and here's why. Where I'm very comfortable here. I love my home. I like it. I feel safe when, if anything, the number one thing about where I live, I need to feel safe. I don't want to feel like somebody's going to come busting in any moment, or something crime crazy. I don't have those feelings. Um, I mean, I do have things in place, but y'all know what I'm saying. um, but I think at this stage, I really want something a little larger, or at least another bedroom. I have people who come visit here, and you know, it'd be nice to have a dedicated guest room. Also, my daughter and we're like the Gilmore Girls type of relationship. She's an adult. We live together. It's more roommate, more so than my daughter lives with me or I live with my daughter. Um, so I kind of, she's a grown-up lady, and she would like to have an additional area, because she's a bit of a collector like her mother. So you want to have your stuff out and do, so we're kind of looking for just a bigger place that kind of is niche to our needs and things like that. So next year, I think that's something that we're willing to finally go looking for a different place. So I'm going to take the energy that I put into this, manifesting this place, along with her energy, because she's part of it, and we'll try to manifest a new place. Just want to say hi and thanks for the channel. I appreciate you. Was touched by your sharing the death of beloved. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, P.S. Beloved. Oh, I like that name too. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, listen, everybody's on here, on different platforms, talking, sharing. I don't have the energy to be ultra curated, and I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to share because it's part of the practice, it's part of everything. To me, that's, when you're talking spirituality, you're talking real life, right? You're talking real life stuff. And I don't know, I'd like to share that because I know somebody else is going through it or has gone through it. And it helps, right? It also helps me because this is a little community for me and I like to share as well here. And that's why I like lives, because it's like instant feedbacks or just comments alone. So, I don't feel like I'm just talking into a void. But yeah, so that's going to be on my new thing for 2026, going into 2026. So I'm claiming that energy of manifesting something that makes sense for us. I don't know what exactly. I don't know what. And I tried to go on Zillow and look at places to kind of like, if you're you like you want to get yourself in a mind like, well, what do I want? Because I haven't really looked at anything because I've been very satisfied and happy where I'm at. And I went to go look and I didn't like anything. I didn't like any house. I didn't like anything because I felt like I realized I live in a place where everything is brown. Do I know this? Yes. But when you're looking for, I live in a colorful house. It's weird that everything is like beige brown. Even like, and by the way, it doesn't matter if you are, I mean, I'm not looking for multi-million dollar homes, but I like to play on Zillow too. And I'll go look to look at like some ridiculously expensive house. And they're all like beige. And I know that's just the outside, but ew, right? I need color. So anyway, it's supposed to fit the desert landscape here in Arizona. I get it. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around that too and lean into that. But I digress. Like I said, it's a process with me. So I got to get my mind into it. I got to wrap my mind around the process of moving um, and thinking of a different place. I have gotten so comfortable here. I am so comfortable here. And I'm wrapping my mind around like, what if this is my last Samhain in this place? What if this is it? What if I have a new place next time? I don't know. Anyway, so that's something I'm working on. Um, I do still have publishing goals. I'm sharing my Witchy New Year goals with you guys. So for the Witches New Year, Samhain. So I'm manifesting publishing finally. Well, there's still another one of these types of books coming because I have the Green Witch. I'm actively working on that. So that is coming. So I know that's a goal that's going to be completed because I'm actively doing it. The Green Witch's Book of Shadow is definitely coming. It's taking a little bit longer because now that I've published these and I published this, I, I know better. I know, more. You know what I mean? So I'm improving on it. Um, but I'm also working on a novel. I've been working on a novel, and I'm still working on novels. It's more than one because it's going to be a series. And that'll be the big baby. That'll be the big thing. And that is happening because it's happening. And I'm not even just thinking about the story by itself. I'm thinking about the offshoots of the story. I'm thinking how I'll write, I'll publish the book, I'll set up a separate channel, a separate website for it. I'm thinking about like what I'll post, the little mini vlogs. I'm thinking about like gameplay with like my Sims 4 and with the characters because I've already set this up and did it, and I've already like created the lore in the Sims 4 for my characters in the book, and like watching gameplay. So if you really like the book, you'll really get a kick out of like the additional storylines. And I'll like record the gameplay and have that like on a video on a channel for the me as the author page. And I'm thinking other like things like, oh, well, what if there's like a I don't want to give too much away, but um, what if there's a grimoire or something that I create based on the characters from the book, you know? And that would be fun because this is the type of stuff I would buy. If I love something, like I love Charmed, I went and I saw somebody, I purchased um, a Book of Shadows that somebody was selling for Charmed at twice. Um, practical magic stuff. If I could have, because at the time there was this woman, she used to have the YouTube channel, and she made that book from scratch. She was hand making them and selling them, and they were like $500, and I could not justify spending $500 at that time for that purpose. My kids were kids then. So no, I didn't buy it. And she stopped making it. She went out of business. She doesn't do it anymore. You said, what's the name of my other channel? Magical Lifestyle of the Cottage Witch. Magical Lifestyle of the Cottage Witch. It should be in the description. Um, but yeah, I'm thinking like, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm falling in love. I'm romanticizing the entire process. I'm romanticizing my journey of writing the book instead of making myself feel crazy about it. Because I listen, if you, I don't know if you're watching this and you've written an entire novel, let alone a series. um, what's up here and getting it down there is a process, and it's not something you do in one day. It's not something you could, well, for me, in a month, or a couple months. Like, it's a process. And unlike other things, I can force myself. Like, I don't always feel like doing housework. I don't always feel like running to the store, but I can force myself and do it. It is an impossible task to force yourself to be creative. You know what I mean? Like, to push creativity and like gun to your head. All right, create. It is, no, the conditions have to be just right. Um, and I am taking the approach of romanticizing the process more. So, falling in love with the story, having imagery around me, and making everything more aesthetic and pretty, like my notebook about the characters. And like I said, using like The Sims 4 for like simulations and stuff like that to like flesh out the lore and get to know these characters in an animated way. um, so anyway, that's on my list to publish a book series. So there's that. And the other thing from like, so to continue to grow, of course, spiritually, 100%. And what does that look like? Growth can also look like maintaining. And one of my coven sisters pointed that out. Maintaining. Um, it doesn't mean you're settling. It doesn't mean you don't have higher aspirations, but things are really good. And I don't think people realize how hard it is to maintain when you get to, a certain level of the knowledge of practicing magic and universal law and the esoteric knowledge and all that sort of stuff, maintaining it. And what does maintaining mean? Like application. So it's a lot. Listen, I've come across a lot of people, younger practitioners who have an extensive recall of knowledge that they, um, read, or, however, it came to them, downloads, things like that. What you learn as you get older, it's great to have all the knowledge. What are you doing with it? As it relates to you, not just, you talking at other people about it. How are you applying it in your life? How does it look? So, um, dealing with grief, for instance, leaning into my practice, leaning into being a high priest. I'm a high priestess of the coven. So leaning into my role as a high priestess, um, within the grief, and having a supportive coven, the energy has been super helpful to me as well, like very helpful to me. Um, because I'm a practicing cottage witch, the way that my environment is set up has also been beneficial. So I've talked about this before. I'll just say this: if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So if you already have some tea light candles you picked up from someplace already in your drawer, if you already have the herb blends already blended, you already have the incense sticks, you already have the moon water that you already did, you already have the consecrated tools, you already have the potions and all that, you already enchanted the items, the jewelry. Well, if you've already done those things, if you don't have the energy, you can utilize those things. So that's something I've been doing a lot, just relying on what I've already done, the work I've already put out. I've been using that to help build me back up and get me through. That's why I say, part of being a witch is being prepared. You're welcome. Yeah, part of being a witch is being prepared. Um, Sometimes you are doing things on the fly, but even the things I'm doing on the fly, I can pull from my cabinets, my shelf, because I've already done some previous work. And that just takes time, right? You just got to be, but you can't keep sitting out every moon, every moon cycle, every new moon, every full moon. You got to, actually cleanse the crystal sometimes. You got to actually cleanse the space sometimes. You know what I mean? You got to do the things. Um, Sometimes so that when you really need it, it's there. Yesterday, one of the things that I did, kind of like what people do before January 1st, they do like a major house cleaning. You're not supposed to have like a dirty house on New Year's Day. So I did and well, one, I literally had to clean. My back was out for most of this last week. I was just going through some muscle spasms. But anyway, I cleaned up, my spaces. And once I did that, it's like my entire mood lightened. I had music blasting. It smells good, you know, clean surfaces, good music. I nourished myself properly yesterday because I haven't been eating that like I should. I wouldn't say well, I mean in general. I mean, I did lose a little bit of weight, but not in a good way. Not in a good way. But anyway, I felt good by just cleaning my space, which led to cleansing my space. But regularly cleansing your space also to me, is just preparatory work. So the other thing that I'm manifesting, so let me finish this out. So my spiritual growth, just literally to me, is just maintaining, which is really just application of the knowledge. Now I'm receptive to gaining new knowledge and having new experiences, but also what I do know and what I know for sure, I want to basically walk what I talk. You know what I mean? And that's one of my goals as well. Uh, Translation: just be more witchy. So we talked about the publishing goals, the house thing potentially. I'm wrapping my mind around it, but I think it's going down. And then the my spiritual goals. Um, Everything else, I go back and forth about like the talking about like a wheel of life, the pie chart with like your the romance and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I'm taking that a different approach. My romance is just me. I'm romancing me. I'm falling in love with me. However, I will tell you the beauty work, the glamour magic, all the things that I also do. There is when I'm in I'm a homebody, so I'm in the house a lot. But when I go out, I will share with you guys. This is what I said. I didn't want to like. It's weird to share this sort of stuff because it sounds a little cringy, I guess. But honestly, I get a nice ego boost because people, men will say things and they're helpful, and they'll like, I'm like, oh, do you need help with that? Oh, how you doing? Or just striking up conversations and stuff like that. And it's like more than one. And there's a specific location I go to that happens a lot. And I don't know, that's enough for me right now. And that kind of fuels me. It makes me feel really nice and definitely boosts my Aries ego and my Scorpio moon. I feel, oh, okay, that's enough. Like that, I'm good with that at this stage of my life right now. I need to do some self love spells. Yeah. Thank you. I like what you're saying, Golden Natural. Thank you. But yeah, I that's good for me right now. Um, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be desired. There's nothing wrong with wanting to turn ahead. You know what I mean? And the men that I'm talking, they're definitely my age men, or in my age range. So, the 40 and up crew. Uh, um, Yeah, and it makes me, yeah, it makes me put a little extra pep in my step when someone is doing that. I even turned the head of a woman once, and she was a stud here, and I was like, really? Me? Like, I don't really, I don't know, I don't really attempt to go after women. But anyway, that day you couldn't tell me none, honey. You couldn't tell me none. That told me everything in that moment. So I was on, I think I was on cloud nine for a solid week about that experience. That just made me so freaking happy. Um, anyway, but yeah, so I don't know. I don't really have any specific goals around that as far as like, oh, I want to manifest a partner. I don't know if I, what my ideal situation would be? If I was to do that, I don't want to live in a house with a boy, a man. you know, is it Shirley Ralph? For the longest time, her husband lived like on the West Coast and she was on the East Coast, or vice versa. That sounds nice when you attract both sexes. Me neither, and I'm married. See, that's what I'm talking about. I was married for a very long time. I they are not I don't like living with men. I don't want to share a bathroom with them. I don't want to do any of those things. There's not enough love and giddiness and romance to make me be past that. I like, can you live in your own place maybe? And then like, we can meet up. Like, I'm grown. Like, why we gotta live like kids? Like the young folk. I'm young at heart, but like we grown. It's 24 years. So exactly. I was up in not quite that long, but it had been a long time. Getting close to that 20-year mark. John, I don't want to. I don't want no. No, I don't. So anyway, maybe I need to be looking at the girls after all. Maybe I need to re-examine my sexuality. Since I'm so adamant about not wanting to share with the man. But anyway, but I don't want anybody in my space. So let me just be clear. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to share I like my bed. I like everything the way I have it. I don't want to change it. So it's really hard to think about manifesting a partner when I don't want to make room for anybody. I like things the way they are. So with that being said, as far as those goals, I don't know. I'm gonna I'll just remain, open, whatever that means for me. I'll let spirit decide. I'll let the fates decide. I'm not getting involved in the process. But honestly, my ego is fed. Just hey man, hey miss, how you doing? How you doing today? I'm good with that. That makes me happy when I get a little bit of that. That makes me happy. Um, so we got spiritual, romance, business, the creative stuff, the book stuff, and health wise. So last year, I wanted to not be on medication, and I'm pretty much there. I had taken myself off before, but come to find out I didn't do it right. Excuse me, I didn't do it right. You know, we're doing it right now. So I actually participated in a clinical study for reducing blood pressure. I even got this like really cool fancy blood pressure monitor. I just went yesterday to and my blood pressure wasn't like ridiculously high, but it was high. For them, they were like, "Oh, it's getting high. You got to be careful." Y'all, consistently, like just me vibing, like I'm not taking any drugs. They had me use this device. I had to give it back, so I can't show it to you. And it's a clinical study, like trial, so it has to go to market, and then I'll see if I, on the back end, hopefully in a couple of months. But I'm hoping I don't need it. It stabilized me, so I'm in a normal now. Just I'm normal. My blood pressure is normal, so that's a win for me. Ultimately, I don't want to be on anybody's anything. Gratefully, I'm not pre-diabetic or diabetic. I don't have high cholesterol. I changed my diet last year. I'm pescatarian. Um, I don't drink as much. I like drinking. I'm not an alcoholic, but I like wine. I like a good cocktail. I like to go out and have margaritas. I'm fun. I like to do those things. I just can't do them very often. And when I say often, I mean month or two could go by before I have a glass of wine or drink or something like that. That also helps with blood pressure and things like that. And I'm not a doctor and I'm not telling y'all what to do, but as far as like joint pains and stuff like that, because we're getting older and things just happen. One of the things that I'm trying to rely on, I work with my I go to doctors, but I'm trying to, help myself as well. And magnesium has been the best thing ever for me. And low key cannabis, THC, cannabis. Cannabis has been. I never, not until 2020 did I ever use any kind of cannabis, and I don't smoke because I don't think that's healthy for my lungs. No judgment to y'all, but I don't think that's the way I need to be ingesting it. So what I do is I use edibles, and that has been very beneficial in sleep, which sleep is restorative. I need to sleep. We all do, but I need to sleep through the night, and I wasn't doing that. So taking the magnesium drops without, because I'll just take those at night. Those have been so helpful in helping me to sleep and also not be achy. I've been practicing yoga consistently. It's been a year now, and I do yoga almost every morning. Of course, I'm human, things happen, but I don't all, sometimes, it doesn't happen. But most mornings I do yoga. And I was so weird about saying I did yoga. I said, oh, I stretch because maybe, I don't know if I'm, doing it right. No, I do yoga. I do yoga the way I'm over here contorting myself in my living room every morning. I do yoga. I've recently cut out coffee, not because I think it's bad. I just don't think it's good for me and this blood pressure thing, and I don't want to be on medication. So that was my goal before. So there were a lot of steps to it. There's the magic of it, but there's the mundane aspect of the magic was me convincing myself I could do these things. A lot of times the magic is you basically making yourself do something, but you having to find value and you having to mind shift. In theory, this sounds like you could do it. We've all read something and it empowers you. You've watched it. I've watched videos and it empowers you. And then Monday comes and you don't do it. You don't actually do it, because that's me. That's where the love spells come in, the self-love spells come in. I am doing this to convince myself, to trick myself, so to speak, to magic myself, so I can be this version of myself that I want to be. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm did last year, and I got results, because it's one thing. Like, y'all, I've maintained this diet thing for a year. I gave up alcohol pretty much mostly all this time. I mean, I still drink occasionally, but not very often, like I said. And it was something I was used to doing. It was a habit. I had like happy hour. So it was a part of my adult life. So yeah, I gave that up. For like on a regular basis. It's not very often I drink. So I am gonna allow myself to have a little something tonight though. Ooh. Because it's sour, and I don't know. For just a sip, not too much. Not a couple sips, not too much. Um, so now my new health goals that I think I'm looking into. Also, the other one was to grow my hair, and I had a vision board that it was like 2 years ago. I shared it here because I'm pretty sure I shared it 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And her hair was my length. The person in the thing. And I see myself, and that was also to grow my locks in. So boom, I did that. And one would say, well, how hard was it to grow it in? I don't know. I didn't, my hair by itself, like me, loose, natural, because of it was never like this. It was long, but it wasn't like this. So this was a goal that I worked towards. So I'm very grateful that I was, able to do this. And I don't know if I'll keep it or cut it. We'll see. I've reached my goal. I don't know what else I want to do. Dye them. I don't know. Right now, I'm trying to just keep them healthy. That's my goal. But health wise, yeah, I want to get more into weight training for real. Um, I want to be physically more strong. That's my thing. Like like I want something happening up here. So that's my goal. Strength. I At this stage of my life, that would be the best decision for me. So flexibility and strength are my main goals. So yoga. And by the way, if you don't know, if you're looking for like somebody on YouTube, and I use YouTube by the way, her name is Yoga Black Nico Black Yoga Nico. Dang it, what is her name? Black Yoga Nico Black Yoga. Bear with me. Look up those words. Nico Nico. I watch this girl's video almost every day, and for the life of me, I'm struggling. I'm blanking on the title, but anyway, I follow her here. Beautiful black woman, and I love her approach. She does affirmations, and she also does like new moon and full moon yoga slash meditation slash affirmations. Very witchy for me, and I like that. And so I like to use hers in the morning. So yeah, Black Nico Yogi or something like that, I think she's called. So that's one of my favorite, and there's a couple other ones that I like as well. I like also finding people who have a little bit of extra cushion, because I want to see you bend with a little bit of pudge in your stomach, because I got a little bit of pudge. So that it helps you to learn how, so you look right, because you can see how their stomach has been like yours, or your boobs, or your butt, you know what I mean? So she's thin. She's a very thin woman. But there's a couple other people I follow who have a little bit more voluptuousness to them, and I like to follow them too, because like I said, it helps to see how they're bending and moving. So, because you can compare and say, oh, I am doing this pose correctly. Um, that has been beneficial. So, yeah, my health goals are definitely going to be strength training and flexibility, which is perfect for the stage of life that I'm in. So that's my approach to the witch's new year. These are my main that I'm going to share with you guys. Manifestation goals, to be open. I want to publish my novel. I'm going to publish more books. Book of Shadows, The Green Witch. I swear it's coming. I'm working on it. To be even more witchier, and then some. And we'll see about this house thing. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. If you've manifested something and you have it, like a house, a car, a partner, and let's say you're ready for you're ready for another growth or something else, you just don't know what it is exactly or what it's going to look like. I think this is a great time to work with that energy. You're just telling the universe, I'm open. And I'm open to whatever that is. So like with a partner, if you manifested a partner, and it's not about you wanting to leave the partner, but let's say you're ready, like you want more. So maybe it's marriage, or maybe it's a different dynamic. I don't know, maybe you open your marriage. I don't know. Whatever it is you're open to, or maybe you close it. But you get my point. Like, you're ready for that next step. For me, my home, I mean, your home is sacred anyway, but as a practicing, who does domestic magic, so to speak, it's kind of a really big deal to me. So I take it very seriously because a lot of my practice, so like the location where it's at, what's going on around it, who are my neighbors, what is the situation, all of that is not just a mundane concern, it's a spiritual concern. But those are my thoughts about the Witch's New Year and my goals and how I'm going to be celebrating that. So tonight, I have a Samhain candle. If you are following my Discord, Leap Taken Safe Place for Witches, I showed that yesterday. I set up my one Samhain candle. There's more, but I set that one up, and I'm very excited about using that. I decided to go with a purple candle, and I rimmed it with honey on the rim and some rosemary and some lavender. And the rosemary is for remembrance, and um, the lavender is just for peace and calm, for calm, peaceful spirit interactions. We don't want anything jarring. And the honey is just that additional sweetness. And I'll light that um, a little later tonight. So, and I like having a lit candle because I believe that spirits who are crossing through the veil, when they see that candle lit, and I believe even if you have like a fake candle, a battery operated, that works too. But if you can have that lit, it just lets them know that, they can maybe stop. And if you don't want them, don't light a candle, but maybe they can stop through. And I'm going to be actively doing spirit divination work. So I kind of want to have the invitation to come on, through. There's some spirits that I'd like to commune with. So I'll light that candle for that purpose. The purple color is just to represent like the regalia, the regalness of the ancestors and the elders that have passed. Um, yeah, and it's just my way of just showing the importance and the sacredness and my respect. So that's why I went with the color purple. I didn't know ads play in the middle of the live. I missed some words. Wait, so it interrupts me, it doesn't come back? I thought it like paused. I know that because I got caught. I didn't know that either. I thought it picked it up. Like I thought you just was a little bit delayed. Dang, I didn't know that either. Hopefully I didn't. I don't know what you lost. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Let me know, and I can try to recap a little bit. Ooh, child, we hot. What did I tell me what I said? It's happened twice. I have it on conservative, so it doesn't do it as often. That is a selection that you can make, by the way. So I do it so it's very minimal interruption on here. Huh. Of course, I don't know. I'm not. Well, wouldn't it be funny if I was getting an ad in the middle of talking? The candle we fixed. Okay, so the candle I fixed. So I honey on the rim. It's a glass, a 7-day candle. It's purple. Honey on the rim. Um, the stickiness, but that's for sweetness. Lavender, rosemary. So I spread some lavender and rosemary on a plate after, kind of like you do a drink, and then I, put that on there so it's around the rim, all around the out, and a little bit on the inside. And then I used a purple candle. It's just my respect of seeing that their regalness. When I think of purple, I think of royalty. So that's why I chose purple for the candle. And I was saying that the candle, if you want to see what it looks like, it's on my Discord. You can go see it because I took a picture of it, and I made a label because I'm into paper crafting. So of course I have Canva, and of course I created a label, a customized label that says Samhain for Remembrance Candle 2025 Leap Taken. So I just went the extra mile to do that. So yeah, thank you. So that's my Samhain candle for the night, and I like I said, lighting it to attract spirits because I'm intentionally doing spirit divination work tonight. I got to download Discord and log back in, new phone. Oh yeah, please do come on over. Because of the things that I've been, grief and things I've been dealing with, I haven't been as active as I would have liked this month because I had a lot of things planned, but it didn't quite go that way. So I will be again. So yeah, I'm starting to now, I should say. So come on back. I was hosting every first Saturday a witchy meet and greet. So I encourage people who, you just you want a community. You don't know what you want, but you're tired of being by yourself in this. To just come through and just talk with some other witches. It's not heavy. It's light. We can talk about whatever. I've never had the exact same group that I hosted. We skipped October, which is annoying because I was really looking forward to October, but life or death, I should say. Um, but I'll be back um, soon with that. I almost missed it going to the start. Oh, hey, Christopher John. Yeah. I almost, I missed, I said almost missed it. I missed it this month. And November 1st, Saturday, technically I would be doing it, but I'm going to be hosting a ritual with my covens at that time. So I won't be able to do it then. So I'm going to just resume in December with our meetups. Yeah, and it's light. Like I don't want it to be a thing, and it's more Discord. It's like Zoom style, so you can choose to be on camera or not. But it's like we're just talking and kicking it, and it's just for about an hour. So I'm not making it into a big thing. But the whole point is like if you come enough, it's not even about me. Maybe you meet somebody else, and it's somebody you could do magic with, right? I'm. It's the community, and it's free. I'm not charging anything. I'm not trying to make you buy or subscribe or do anything. It's just for the purpose of community. That's it. I'm not pushing anything. I'm not making anybody do anything. Just so you know, it's just we're kicking it. Bring a drink, a cocktail, water, tea, and come kick it with me. And a couple other witches. That's what it's about. But I'm gonna start up in December. Clearly, this is not the time. I see that for me. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the witches New Year stuff on for today because that's a big aspect of what I was excited about with Samhain. Um, that was probably the most important part, more so than just the spirit communication, because I work with my ancestors regularly. So, it's not like I I need a day, to do that. Yeah, the veil is thin, but I feel like I got a nice connection already going. Um, it is going to be different when I do some divination tonight because I lost an elder, and I don't know. I don't expect her to come through. I've talked about this. I mean, I can't prove it, but from my experience and um, what I've learned over the years from others, elders as well. Uh, Typically, there is a process. We won't know what it is and how long it is. Once spirits pass, so once you die, your spirit, to go to the ancestral realm, there is a process. So some people talk about when someone first dies, they still feel them. They feel them like a lot. They feel their presence, and that can happen maybe a couple weeks after the death. For some people, even a month or two, or within like a short period of time close to the death, and after that it's like nothing. And that, if you notice, when people are grieving after those, like right now, I'll be honest with you, I still felt like she was here, and we all did. But as these days are going by, it gets sadder because I know for a fact she's not on this plane. I know she's not here. I can feel it, that she's not here. She's really gone. Um, that is heavy. And if you notice with grieving, as time goes on after the funeral, after everything, and people attribute it to, oh, well, that's because you got to get on with life, and this person's gone. I mean, yeah, that's an aspect of it, but the other part of it is that you I think this is not a witch thing. I think this is a human thing. We can feel their presence, their energy, their essence is not here on this plane. And that's sad. That hurts. It feels like a missing piece of a puzzle. And you don't get past that. You just live around the fact that that puzzle piece is gone. So I just feel like it's a process. And my ancestors already let me know, like, leave it alone. Don't try to communicate in the way that you normally do with us about, your like, is this not your time? And I was actually blocked when I tried, which has never happened before. So, and you just got to be respectful of it. This is her life, her journey, her spirit. This is, what can I do? It'll be me one day. So I just got to respect it. And yeah. And so that's not like part of my plans trying to connect or anything like that. She lived a full life. What am I bothering this spirit for? What am I going to bother her? Well, I love you, I miss you. She knows I love her, I miss her. In real life, she would have been like that. Oh, I know. I can hear, oh, in a sweet little voice. Oh, I know you love me. So I don't, I told her in life how I felt. Those were my last words to her. I love you. So I feel, like I'm gonna let the process happen, and then her spirit will begin to communicate with me when and if that's appropriate or it's time or whatever. So, and I can respect that. It hurts, but I respect it. I respect it. So, yeah, the ancestral aspect of Samhain is just me providing additional offerings and just thanking them, being very gracious about all the support and the attention and love and protection that I've been given by them, over this. And that's why I'm reflecting on the wins that I had from manifesting around Samhain last year, because here we are about to do it again, and I'm going to ask them again. So I'm going to thank them, and I'm going to ask them to bless the things that I like to manifest as well. So that's how I do Samhain. Yeah, that's how I do it, and it's been working for me. It adds depth to the day. It gives it more weight and sacredness doing it this way. And I also celebrate the fun stuff, like I said, with Halloween. I'll be giving out Halloween candy, so it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I do decorations outside. It's a fun time. It's a good time. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up and finally finish the last edits to get that video of the house tour on Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch up today. It is Halloween, so I'm going to make sure I do it today. I'm in a good space. I'm in a good space, so I feel comfortable doing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. And I hope everyone has a happy Halloween, a sacred, beautiful Samhain. Many Samhain blessings to you. And if you're doing the Day of the Dead as well tomorrow, may that also be just as sacred for you as well. If you are looking to have spirit interaction and spirit connection, I hope it goes wonderful for you. Sending a veil of protection over you right now so that you are assured a pleasant spirit interaction. And spirit interaction can be in your dreams as well. Sour blessings, yes. And I just wish everybody well. I'm sending nothing but positivity and love to everybody for this time, because why not? Why not? We need that, right? I am genuinely sending it out. So, yeah, happy Samhain. All right, bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that YouTube stuff. It really helps the channel. Bye.